Welcome to Counterpoint, one-on-one conversations with newsmakers and opinion shapers. I'm Zafar Sobhan, Counterpoint editor, and I'm joined today by Thomas Dooley, the head coach of the Bangladesh national football team. Thomas, it's great to have you here.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here.
That's right. Well, you just flew in very late last night, and so I apologize for getting you so early in the morning, but you're looking quite bright-eyed, and so I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Me too. Thank you so much.
And, we have a lot of ground to cover. I want to talk a little bit about your background, and, of course, you played many years in the Bundesliga. You won the Bundesliga title. I think you won the UEFA Cup, if I'm not wrong. And then, of course, you were a stalwart of the U.S. national team. You were the captain, I believe, in 1994.
98.
In 98, okay. But you were there in 94 as well?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And then, of course, I want to talk a little bit about Bangladesh and what you see the future for us. But before, let's talk a little bit about the World Cup has just started. How are you feeling about the first few games? What stood out for you?
One thing is obviously with the time change and with traveling for me, so I couldn't watch the last games last night because I was in the plane and they didn't show it. And then the other game was like 4 o'clock in the morning, Brazilian
tough,
game, so I didn't see. But the Mexican game and the US game, obviously, I saw them. And it's exciting. I mean, especially the game from our US boys was amazing. I didn't expect that. So because they always, most of the teams they have in the preseason leading up to the World Cup games, they have some difficulties because they're trying things out, and sometimes the players doesn't show up because he still need a break. So when I thought maybe the unity of the team wouldn't be very well, and I didn't expect them to go far this time in the World Cup. And I was actually disappointed also because after 30 years now, since 94 until now, that we didn't develop in the rankings in the World Cups. So besides 2002 was actually the best World Cup we had, and that happens also for a reason. I think that this year I wasn't so sure where we end up, but when I watched the first game, it was incredible. I mean, the first half, the way that we played, the pace that we had, the accuracy and the passing, and like the pressing that we didn't get Paraguay to breathe when they got the ball. Everything was like first class, and if they can keep that kind of momentum and play against better teams like the French, the Spain, Germany, and all those big teams, Argentina, Brazil, they can play against those teams, I think then we really have a good shot to be very successful. But Paraguay is good, had a good qualification, but it's not that level that you can see that the other teams have.
I mean, as the tournament progresses. But I think Paraguay are a good team. You see, of course, people are trying to figure out, but it's a long tournament. We see where it goes. But it's already interesting to see, some of the medium ranking teams. US has done well. Mexico's looking good. South Korea's looking good. Morocco was looked very good in the game against Brazil. So this is great, actually, because, once upon a time, there were maybe a handful of good teams in the World Cup. But now it seems slowly it's actually becoming more of a World Cup as far as that goes.
Yeah, it's always the beginning is a little bit slow. Somebody stands out, but you don't know if they can continue. Like the US, like Mexico, and other teams like Brazil, only won one. So I think that they will grow, and Germany also. The longer the tournament goes, the better they get. So. It's just the beginning, and it's exciting as a fan to watch it. And we can learn a lot of those things if we're looking behind the curtain.
Yeah, no, for us in Bangladesh, like I said, the big challenge is going to be, of course, the timings, 4 a.m., 12. And of course, Bangladesh, as you probably already found out, is absolutely football mad and absolutely crazy about the World Cup, And it's interesting, the two teams which people generally support here the most, Brazil and Argentina, but lately Germany is getting a lot of support. It's very interesting.
Really?
And every team has a little bit of support. And the Norwegian embassy, for instance, they put out a little tweet a few days ago saying, why don't you support us? Huh? So I said, maybe that'll work as well. They got some good players, right?
Yeah, maybe it's because of Bangladesh is kind of a football nation.
Yeah.
You have cricket and stuff like that, but we had, and that's a big point that I actually was talking about it last week. with America when we
Yeah.
talked about what is the different, why this American cannot catch up with the best in the world.
Yeah.
And I was saying that it's a culture problem.
Sure.
Because the history that we had in football in South America, like Brazil, Argentina,
Yeah.
and the other Mexico and so on, or maybe in Europe with Spain, Germany, France, we have football for hundreds of years, and when you grow up as a kid, everybody talks about football.
Yeah, it's everything.
And that's what we
yeah.
have here in Bangladesh also.
Yeah.
You know, we have the fan base here. We have the people who are interested
Yeah.
in football, and with all the details left and right. And if that keeps on going, that's when you actually get that passion and get that understanding. What does it take to be a great player and
Yeah.
compete in the world with the best players? So, and that's kind of when in America, when you look at that, it's like they have golf, they have basketball, they have football.
Yeah, there's too much other stuff.
They,
Yeah.
they did it I wasn't there at that time, but they did it because they want to go to college.
Yeah.
That's it. There was no professional league, nothing.
Yeah.
So, and that's why that the change comes with time. And like I always say, anything is possible.
Yeah.
And you have to form, it's one of the key things, you have to form a unit. And that unit is not just the players, it's the coaching staff, is the federation, is the fans, it's the media. They all need to be one, and we want to succeed. We want to get the best out of it. Will it be always like that? No, of course not. You get stone thrown in the way that you
Yeah.
have to overcome, and the rocks. But you have to believe and you have to trust. Everybody makes mistakes, but it's a progress. They're going up and down. So, and if we create that kind of a unit in a team, the team can move mountains.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, that's very interesting that you kind of honed in on this, is because the culture is here. I remember when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, actually it was by far the most popular sport in the country. Even now, you know, people are into cricket, and we've done very well in the last 20, 30 years in cricket. But I think for Bangladeshis, our first love is always football.
Yeah,
you
now
know?
we just have to find out what hinders to get to the big points.
Sure.
To get to that level where because we're
Yeah.
181.
Well, a lot of it is coaching, it's infrastructure, it's institutions. You know, we need to have that. And I think this is where what we're doing now under the new leadership is a really good idea, is bringing in all of these players who've played or have been coached in Europe or in other parts of the world. Because of course, why not? You know, if you've grown up in Europe, you've been coached in Europe, you'll have a different level of professionalism. We can learn from that. So I think that's really going to help the culture here.
Yeah, absolutely, and it happens in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, when you look at the situation, my mom is German, my dad is American,
Yeah.
and I had the opportunity to play for Germany or American.
Yes.
And I was 3 times close to the German national
Sure.
team, because everything in Germany is about football, is about Bundesliga, is about the German national team, and maybe the second is a little bit the European Championship, but. America, they didn't have a professional league. That nobody cares about that at the moment. You know, in Germany, there wasn't the internet at that time, so there was no idea even playing, because I never met my dad also from the US.
Yeah.
So, and I was focused for Germany, and I was 3 times very close. And the media called me in to say, you need to play next time in the friendly games with Germany, because you're one of the best center backs in the league. And I said, maybe one more good game, and then the coach calls me.
Yeah.
The next week I got an injury, I got a surgery, torn 3 legs in my ankle.
Okay.
And then 3 months later, the national team had another camp playing, and then they said, Thomas, you are right now the best in the league. Buchwald and Kohler, the 2 center backs, are injured. You're the best center back. That's your chance to play for the national team. And I was like, I would love to. Maybe 1 or 2 good games, and then I gonna play. I torn my ligaments on the other ankle, and I was out again for 3 months. And then another 4 months later, we played against Bayern Munich. I had the best game, and they had a camp to go to Mexico and Argentina with 32 players. And they said, Thomas, now is your last chance.
Yeah.
If you don't make this tournament, you know, unlucky 2 times, then it's over. Yeah, I know, but what can I say? 2 days later, somebody hit me with a knee in my chest. I broke 4 ribs. My rib punched my lung collapsed, done.
Oof.
In a hospital for a week and done.
Yeah.
So for me, and my wife came to the hospital and said, why are you so negative? you know, I don't know you like that. And I said, look, 3 times I was so close to have the German jersey on with the logo on it. And maybe play, maybe don't play, but at least I'd be in the camp and get all the gear and stuff. That's a, you know, that's a dream.
Sure.
I said, yeah, maybe you shouldn't play for Germany. I said, what, should I play for Italy or Spain? I can only play for Germany. And then a woman from the US came, saw me play, saw the name Dooley, and they asked my friend, my agent, Dooley, that's not a German name. So I said, no, his father is American. And she said, do you think if he can play, would he play? I said, I don't know. He called me that night, 4 o'clock, and said, you know, Thomas, do you remember the girl that we met last night, my friend's girlfriend? I said, yeah, what? She works for the U.S. Soccer Partners. And she asked me, if you could play for the United States, you want to play? I said, of course I want to play. Not only because I always dreamed about America, I never been there, couldn't speak English at all, and I had just a love for that country. The Olympics and the flag and the anthem and all that stuff. I just loved it. The movie, the music, so amazing. And it just came from the blood that I got from my dad, I guess. Never had any family members contact anything. So, and then overnight I said, you know what, I can play in the World Cup too. We don't have to qualify. So for me, it was a dream come true. So, and that's when I came to the Philippines as a coach. We had 14, the first time, 12, 14 players from international, from England, from US, from Germany, and they all played for them. And I said, okay, I love that, because now they're having a different development, because they train in a professional development.
And this is what we see in Bangladesh. And, you know, we talk a lot about, with, of course, Hamza as our big star of the team. But this really first happened actually a few years back when Jamal Bhuiya, who's in fact grew up in Denmark. You know, in Copenhagen, I think. And then he became, and he played. And now we have many. We have, I think, how many would it be? Is it 8 or 10 people probably from overseas?
I don't know. I have a list of, I just got a list from players, and I was asking some other friends that I have, because in the Philippines, I use that as an example. There was a guy who was a German guy who has all those connections to those players, and he brought them in. But I said, you know, this is okay, but the Philippines didn't have a lot of money. So, and they're spending like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a flight. And they came in like having a vacation. And it's like, listen, if you don't perform better than the locals, you have no chance to play here. I'm saving that money and put the money in a bucket, and we have a camp with local players and develop them.
Well, like you said, here in Bangladesh, 180 million. You know,
there must be good players there too.
But you just, you know, you have to find them, you have to train them. No, it is interesting. Other countries, like I just read earlier today, that the Moroccan team, okay, has actually only one person born in Morocco. I read that. I don't know if that's entirely true, but most of them are born in France or Spain or Belgium or Holland. You know, but you know they're still Moroccan, and they're one of the best teams. Curacao. You know, mostly
I
Dutch.
just want to say, all the Dutch people.
They're mostly Dutch,
from Holland.
right?
So, and the thing is, and then when you look Morocco, where they play, they all play in the first division in all over Europe.
All over Europe.
And that's why they are so good also. The thing is, like, if you have, I like the situation, and it is, it should be like that, because I could never, because my mom is German, my dad American, I could never play for any country. If I can't play Germany, why can't I not play for the US? My dad was in the US, my mom was German, so why not? So that means anybody who has not really a dad and a mom from that country, he can never play. That's not fair. So and it's a win-win situation for everyone, because if we can find good players, they're playing with Messi. Let's say Messi would be Bangladesh mom. Mom is Bangladesh, no, dad is from Argentina. Would we be happy to have him in the team? Of course. So, and that's why, if we had good players, if we have many, like 4 or 5 more Hamzas in our national team, the fan base would be even more so behind it.
Absolutely.
And then the kids in Bangladesh wanted to be like him.
Yeah.
They want to
changes
be like
everything.
Hamza.
My kid, my 12-year-old, for his 12th birthday, we gave him a Hamza jersey. He's loving it, right?
Yeah.
You know, in the past, he said, oh, give me a Real Madrid jersey, give me a Bayern Munich jersey. Now,
But
he
now
wanted
I
a
want this
Hamza.
one.
Yeah.
Exactly. That
Bangladesh
means one
national
day he
team.
wants to be like him.
Exactly.
And you can tell him that, yeah, you want to be like him, you need to train every day.
Yeah.
You need to watch games,
Yeah.
the position you play, watch him, how he
Yeah.
plays, copy him.
Yeah.
So it gets a hype into the country. Just imagine if we would go from 180 to 150,
Sure.
and then we go to 120, and then we go to 100. Then we'd be in a situation where India was a couple of years ago
Yeah.
being under 100. What kind of a league that we would have? You
Yeah.
know, they would have more sponsors. They
Sure.
would have more interest in. They would have more good players because they are all want to be one of
Yeah.
them. So it's a win-win situation.
How was your first experience with the boys on the team when you first got to meet them? You first trained with them.
I was very happy because most of them speak English,
Yeah,
so I
so it was
could have a conversation.
Yeah,
And in the conversation, I could feel the passion that they have,
yeah,
the hunger they have for being successful.
yeah,
They all believe that we can make it happen.
Yeah.
And I told them that, yes, that's very important that we have to believe it, but we have to understand what we need to do. You know, because everything happens for a reason. And when I started thinking about the team, and I was thinking why they are in the ranking so low, most of the time in that region is because they don't run.
yeah,
They don't want to run. But I looked at the data, and they were running average 10,000 meters. I go, no, that's perfect.
Yeah,
that
that's
means
good,
you
yeah.
have it in your heart.
The heart is
The
there,
thing
yeah.
is, like, there are other problems. And when I watched the games, and I could see the problems that we have.
Yeah.
And they are fixable.
Yeah.
They have to change the way they think.
Yeah.
And that goes through conversation, through meetings, and watching videos about themselves, what they're doing wrong.
So tell me more. The way they think. So is it a confidence issue? You think is a tactical issue? What would you focus on first? Do you think?
It's about everything. It's you know, that's funny because I wrote a book about that.
Okay.
The truths about success in soccer no one teaches.
Okay, I'd love to read that.
Yeah, and it is in football. It's not. I didn't invent that. It's science.
Yeah.
That said in football there are 4 pillars.
Yeah.
It's a technique. It's a tactic. It's a fitness, and
Yeah.
the mentality.
Yeah.
The way you think.
That's right.
So when the
yeah.
people never train the mentality.
Sure.
They hear a little piece here, a little bit there.
Yeah.
They do maybe something, but the most of them don't. And if you use that fourth pillar that is missing,
Yeah.
and you train that, being more at home, looking at the board like a chessboard,
Yeah.
how we gonna play? That's why the chess right here.
Yeah.
So and how we play on the field, the tactical part. If you think about mistakes, why you made that mistakes on your own, that's what I'm trying to teach them. You know what? I can tell you, but you need to figure out why didn't I score? Why didn't I score that ball in there? And the coach tells you in the game when you make a mistake.
Yeah.
It goes in here, you understand, it goes out there. Why? Because next player said something. The coach says something again.
Yeah.
You're getting at halftime, you're getting more information. You go home, you get more information. After a day or two, it's gone. But if you're going home and thinking about that mistake, and you talk, you find out what happened. If you play that thing in your head, and you even on video, you're watching it and say, "What happened? Oh yeah, I need to." And what is the solution? A solution: I need to get in front of him when the cross comes. That I be the first one to gonna score. So if that's the case that I need to do, how do I do that? And then you're thinking about more and more. You spend
So much
30
of it
minutes.
is mental strength. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
And that's you're training your brain.
Yeah.
You have muscle memory that you don't have to think about. You you open up the door, you know exactly what you're gonna do when you drive. It's a muscle memory that you don't have to think anymore. The brain, you can do the same thing. You get the brain memory. So if you see that picture, immediately you know what the solution is. Why?
Yeah.
Because you worked on it. You have
Yeah.
it in your brain.
Yeah, you've been
your
thinking about
synapses,
it.
they're gonna building this thing.
Yeah.
The connection to realizing the situation, executing. That's how you also train your decision making.
Yeah.
So that's one part. The second part is about confidence. Yeah, you need to have confidence. How does the confidence comes from? The confidence comes from you doing something great.
Yeah.
if we are not talking a lot in our life with people and all that stuff, I would shaking and say, I don't know what to say. And even if I make a mistake, and how do I deal with that? So I'm thinking, what was your question? I'm totally lost because I'm not confident.
Yeah.
But I know what I'm talking about because I'm talking about that 1,000 times. I wrote this book, I did that, I do courses and all that stuff, so I know a little bit about it. So it's for me easy to talk about it. Football is the same thing.
Yeah.
If I have a good technique, I play with more confidence.
Yeah.
If my ball bounces all over the place, I need 4 or 3 touches to get the ball under control. I don't have the confidence, and you can see that. So and football, everything is about speed. Everything, not just how fast you can run, but how long does it take to get the ball under control.
Yeah.
If you see a situation, how long does it take you?
Because you don't have any of the time, not at the top level.
Yeah.
You've got to do it right away. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't know what you're going to do in the next 2-3 seconds, you have to concentrate on the ball, get the ball under control. You're not a good player.
Yeah.
So, but if you're confident with the ball, your technique is almost perfect.
Yeah.
You can actually scan a little bit more
think
in a
about the
time
next
when
step,
when somebody is concentrating on the ball and coming over here and being there, and then looking up and you'll be right here. I'm getting nervous, but if I know that he's playing the ball, it takes 2 seconds. So in 2 seconds, I'm looking. Okay, you're coming right here, no problem. There's an open space. Get the ball. I'm faking over there. Go over here. That's confidence.
Yeah.
Because I do something. I know that I can touch the ball better.
Yeah.
That's what. How do you train that? Repetition, over and over and over again. Passing exercise. That's why you see in my training I have passing exercises every training session, 10-15 minutes. 150, 200 times you touch the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not getting better after 3-4 weeks, means you're totally lost. You're not concentrating on it, or you don't do it right.
Yeah.
So, and those kind of things is teachable, very simple.
Yeah.
So, and if we can do that with the national team, is of course it's a little bit more difficult because
you don't have the
time.
But what is your immediate goal? So I think we were talking about this outside before we came on camera. So do you think the SAF Games, that's a realistic goal for Bangladesh as we are now? Is that where you're going to start, do you think?
What do you mean soft games?
The SAF, SAFF,
Oh,
South Asia.
SAFF.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big goal. It's not, I mean, if it's not difficult, why didn't you win it the last 23 years? So it must be difficult.
I didn't realize it was 23 years. That's a long time.
23 years, what I read is 23 years that they haven't won anything.
Yeah, that's
so,
a long time.
And then the SAF was one of them. So,
okay. Because, growing up, when I was a kid, we used to win it pretty free. Not all the time, but quite a few times, So 23 years, Though we did recently defeat India in a friendly game.
Yeah.
I think. So that's a good start, right?
Yeah, that's a great thing. You can build confidence. Why did you win against them? You're not that bad.
Yeah.
So what's the different?
Yeah.
So we have to figure out what the different, hammering that in the brains that, you know what, hey, go with an open shoulder, go over on the field and don't be arrogant, but just believe.
Don't be intimidated.
Yeah, believe that you can do it. That's why when I watched the game against San Marino, I was very happy to see that in that short term that the players already accomplished. Did it go 100%? Of course not.
Yeah.
But they're trying to do the things that we talked about before.
Yeah.
So, and that's promising for the future.
Yeah.
So they were hungry. They trying to do that, and it worked a long time ago. Not long time ago, but many times in the game. So let's say the distance between when we press somebody, we were like against the U23s, we were like 20, 30 yards away from the player.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not pressing.
Yeah.
So one guy runs to the defender and the other guys are just waiting. When he gets the ball, then I'm going. It's like, whoa, that's not pressing.
Yeah.
That's crazy because now you make it too easy for him. Now you're running over here, he passes over there. What's happening now? So no, and we need to be much closer, and we did a great job against them. Then we talked about that we have, if we have the ball, we need to get away from the body contact because they are strong, they are, really hard and stuff. So when we have the ball, play the ball early, that we are not getting in a 50-50. But if we don't have the ball, we have to go into a 50-50 body contact.
Yeah, and you got to be tough for that.
And you're very tough. And I was surprised how we fight it against them.
Yeah.
And we kicked them as hard as they kicked us.
Yeah.
So they were surprised about that. They were thinking about us will be easy shot.
Yeah.
So because of the result that they had in the past, playing only
Yeah.
against big teams.
Sure. No, one thing I've noticed in the team watching I've been watching Bangladesh my whole life, but in the last few years, is actually when Hamza came on the team, that gave us two different dimensions. One, he's a really excellent player, okay? And so he was playing at a level, maybe a little bit higher than most of the other people on the team. But more than that, he brought an attitude. And I think that attitude has come through to the other players as well.
And
saying that this is how you got to carry yourself. You can't be intimidated.
Yeah,
You got to stand up. You know?
Yeah, and he is a really nice, humble person.
Yes.
And as a really a true leader,
Yeah.
who takes a guy, come over, talk to him. He's talking to him and pointing things out that he needs to change.
Yeah.
And he treats everybody the same.
Yeah.
He's always in a good mood, even if it doesn't work the way that he is. Of course, I mean, on the field, if you get punished a couple of times or get hit a couple of times, you're standing up for yourself. What you should do. But in general, for the team spirit, he's absolutely great. And I told the players also, if you have the ball, you win the ball. If you see Hamza in front of you, give him the ball.
Yeah.
Take that pressure from you, give it to him, he can handle it.
Yeah.
He knows what he does the
Yeah.
best, what he needs to do, because he's that sharp. He plays that level.
Yeah.
So we need to use that and need to get him involved as often as possible and learn from it. And say, you don't have to feel any pressure. If you see him open, even if he's marked, you can pass the ball to him.
Yeah.
He's gonna handle it.
Yeah.
Every time, no, nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes.
But having that outlet, that changes things.
That changes should change should bring your pressure down to a minimum.
Yeah.
If you see him, can you pass the ball 5 yards? If not, why are you here? So if you want to learn it, okay, show me in training that you get better and better and better.
Have you watched any of the I think it's the under 23, maybe under 20 team. I'm not sure the age. The Sullivan twins, these two boys who are American, and one of their brothers are actually quite famous players. Their older brother was on the men's
for the
national
US
team,
already.
and then the younger guy, the kid brother, is supposed to be one of the great stars of this world. I think he's on the books for Manchester City, Cavan, right? The two middle kids. They were playing for us. Great players. Great players. Did you?
I heard about them. I saw a video about them. And I'm gonna call them. So I want to talk to them, of course.
Yeah.
Because anyone who can help us at the moment to get better, we should call in and we give them a chance to show. But again, it's all about performance. If we have 3 kids who are as good as they are, and they're coming over here and just playing, and because we're coming from America, it's not going to work.
Sure.
So you have to show, because
everyone's only as good as their last performance.
And that's what you have. We still have even players in the squad right now that they need to understand when you come over here that you have to perform. Very simple. I'm not letting you play because you have played in the last 10 years. It's like, no, but you got to show me something. What happened now? If he's better than you, why should I let him sit on the bench?
Yeah, sure.
I had so many because I'm not 20 anymore. I'm 65, so I had some experience, and I tried to bring those experience always in as an example. I had a player in the Philippines. He center forward, and before the first World Cup game we had, I tell the guys in the last 5 minutes, hey guys, you do whatever you want. If you want to do some sprints, you want to long balls, headers, you want to just lay down and you want to sleep, go, whatever you want for the game tomorrow that you're 100% fit.
Yeah.
Do it at 5 minutes. Okay, so I looked over, I saw him walking in the penalty box, head down, walking back and forth. I said, I need to walk over. So I walked over to him and said, hey, Misak, why you make it so easy to not letting you play? He said, what? I don't understand. Why do you make it so easy for me not letting you play? Coach, I don't understand. So you're a forward, right? Yeah. What does a forward has to do? Scoring goals, being dangerous, and assist. That's why I'm asking you to. How many goals did you score today? None. How many goals did you score yesterday? None. How many goals did you score the whole week? Maybe 1, 2.
You're making
It's like,
it
how
too easy for
how
me.
many assists you did? How many dangerous shots you hit? I see you only on your butt, screaming, hey, go, foul, foul, foul. But there's nothing. And we have another one. He scores every day 4 or 5 goals. I can tell you every goal that he scored today. Incredible. Hit the crossbar 3 times. You want that he should not play and I let you play? There's no way I can do that. You're a forward. You need to score goals. If you cannot score goals, maybe you are not a forward. Fight for your place in the midfield or maybe as a defender. But you're not a forward.
Yeah.
So now then comes your excuses. Oh, coach, I'm afraid when you're in the elevator. I say, afraid? I'm not biting. I'm trying to do everything for you. You can call me at night at 2 o'clock if you want.
Yeah.
I can help you. So you need a hug? So I walked over, give him a big hug. Say, Misak, I want only the best for you. You need to understand. The next day, after 20 minutes against Bahrain, one player got injured, the offensive player. I put him in. Before he goes in, I gave him a hug. You know what I told you? Yeah, what you need to do? Scoring goals and be dangerous and assist. He scored 2 goals.
Nice.
Next game again, I let him play, of course. Yeah. He scored another 1 or 2 goals. He scored the most goals in our whole
See, there you
tournament.
go. There's some man management. I like that. No, I think that's going to work very well. Yeah, I think you understand how to get through to people. Got only a few minutes left. I want to talk to you a little bit, though. It's the World Cup, so let's talk a little bit about the World Cup. So, who do you like for this tournament? Who do you think you see going deep? Who are your favorites? Do you think?
My favorites, Argentina. I mean, I
still?
like Argentina. Yeah. It's I have close friends with Argentina.
Okay.
And I have, I like the color blue and the jersey that they have. What is that? It's crazy.
Well, that's going to be a popular choice in Bangladesh,
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Well, a lot of Bangladeshis are big Argentina fans.
Argentina fans, yeah. So that's kind of, I like the style because they are good players and always new players
do you think they're as good a team as they were 4 years ago? They're a little bit older. Messi's 4 years older.
Yeah, we had that in Germany, the kind of a situation that Germany won the World Cup in Brazil and then they had the qualification with young boys.
Yeah.
They were like running like crazy, incredible qualification.
Yeah.
And I think it was Russia at that time. And they were outstanding. And then the coach called in the old ones again.
Yeah.
And then it's just like because of the experience. And I hated it. And I say, this is not good.
Yeah.
Because even when you won the World Cup, you go in, you win the World Cup again, of course.
Yeah.
But you are you had it done already.
Yeah.
If it gets really hard, you might not fight.
You don't
as
have the
hard.
hunger, huh?
The hunger.
Yeah.
And then with the young ones who never won that, they will fight way more. So that's why that could be an issue.
Yeah.
But maybe not. And then obviously Germany. I don't believe in Germany this year that they're gonna do it. There's maybe a surprise. Maybe because of the coach.
Okay.
England.
Yeah. England, because of the German coach, yeah?
Because of the German coach. And Kane is amazing. I mean, this guy, I watched him in Bayern Munich this year.
Yeah, he's a
that
great
guy
player.
doesn't look only once where the goal is, and then he concentrated on the ball, and he knows exactly where he wants to hit the ball. He's not looking anymore.
Yeah.
And he scores so many goals. Unbelievable, that guy.
Yeah.
So
What do you
I
think about
could
Portugal? Do you think they got a chance? A lot
I
of
don't
people
know.
are thinking.
I don't know. It's with Portugal. It's always like you have a couple ideas and you focusing more on that, you don't see the other ones anymore.
Yeah.
I never focused that much on the United States.
Yeah.
And I saw that game and the way that they played in the first half when Pulisic came out.
Yeah.
Second half wasn't the same anymore.
Yeah.
Because he's really that kind of a player. But all the other ones, the way they played, I was really surprised and happily surprised. Say, you know what? Maybe this time at home we can maybe pull it off.
Yeah,
but you never know.
You never know. And the thing is this, with every World Cup, there are always breakout stars, young kids, or even people who've been around, but somehow they haven't taken off before then. And so it's going to be really interesting to see whose World Cup it's going to be, who's going to really come to the fore.
Yeah, and that's a good thing in football.
Yeah.
The good thing in football, because before everybody knows.
Yeah.
After everybody knows, but before nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Everybody has an idea, and they think this is how we're going to play.
Yeah.
All the fans in Bangladesh, I know we have thousands coaches, millions of coaches over there.
Yeah.
Everybody has an idea how we're going to play, why we should play like this. And after the game, and they have an idea before,
Sure.
but after the game is like, yeah, maybe it's not like that I thought it would be. And that's a World Cup, the same thing.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, thank you so much, Thomas. It's been a fantastic discussion. I wish I could have. I wish we had more time. I could talk football
Me too.
all day long, and I feel really good because talking to you, I'm pretty sure we have the right man. So I'm looking forward to great things with the Bangladesh national team. I think with you and the team together, who knows? Who knows? The
Anything
sky
is
is the limit,
possible.
and anything is possible. So I'm feeling very good about that. So thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
And thank you. This has been Zafar Sobhan. I'm the editor of Counterpoint. I've been speaking with the Bangladesh football national coach, head coach, Thomas Dooley. Tune in next week. Thank you very much.